Hello everyone, it's Jerry Caudell, the Yankee Creek Stitcher. I'm back for Flosstube. Didn't look up the number before by hand, so you can note that in the description of the video. I'm back for a mid-January update. I think that's going to kind of work good for me, doing a mid-month and then end-of-month updates. I've been doing lots of stitching. Love this time of the year because I get to hibernate, and that means lots of stitching time. I've kind of changed up my focus on my stitching. I used to just randomly pick whatever I felt like stitching on. Now I am focusing on a few charts this month and really loving it. Something that has really helped is Cheryl McKinney's group, the Daily 30 Challenge and Scavenger Hunt that she's having. Loving that, and it is helping me get some of these, 54 whips that I had at the end of the year knocked out. I did have 2 new starts for the year, so I'll show those to you. It's been a hectic day. I would like to insert the end of year pick of the project and my current state of my whip. We'll see how that goes. I'm having bus troubles today, so my husband's trying to fix my bus, and I'm gonna have to use a backup bus this afternoon. And I wanted to get a video recorded to share with you, so definitely it's going to be split into 2, so I may look a little bit different when I come back for the second half of this video. I'm going to show you what I've been working on for the first half of January. So we will start off with Antique Rooster Sampler. I chose that as one of the 3 whips I wanted to focus on in Cheryl as a scavenger hunt. So I did work on it for a few of her prompts, or for a few of the scavenger items. So if I have the time to do it, this is going to be a before picture. And I have, since January 1st, put in 539 stitches into this project. This is 32 count Winter's Brew, and it's being stitched 2/2 with Buckeye Scarlet Floss. I love how this is coming together. Really enjoy stitching on this. So yeah, lots of progress. I think just had the VWX and the rooster here, so I've put this border down, this top border, the bigger rooster, the QRS, and the T. That I know that has all been added since the last time. So yeah, really enjoying stitching this. And I felt like I'm making some progress. I should be able to knock this out quickly. And then I look back at the full picture, and it's no, not really. I'm maybe a third of the way. I've got pretty much all of this done here, so I have all of that to go. Pretty a lot bigger than I had envisioned. I don't know why, but the second whip I have worked on, and I'm not sure what prompt I used this for. I'm not sure why I brought it back out. I think because it's closer to being done than some of my other whips. I'm trying to go back and focus on my oldest whips first of all, because those need to be knocked out, that I started stitching in 2018, and I think there was 12 left from 2018, I think. So this is one of the 2018 starts and one of the closer ones to being finished. If I have a beginning photo, I'll insert that here. And in my whip update at the end of December, if you remember, I had the border across here, the top border, the viney little green. I did go ahead and rip that out. I took an evening and just ripped that top border out. I had considered restitching it in a different color, and I decided, you know what, I think it's fine without that. So I'm not going to have a border up at the top. I have finished the tree, finished the flowers in the house, started stitching the fence, and of course I'll stitch the Bless Our Home part here, and then I think it also had the bottom vine border as well. And I probably won't stitch that in either. I think I'll get this Bless Our Home, finish the fence on either side, and I think there was a dog here, and I'm going to try to change it to look like a German Shepherd. And actually I need to get 2 of those in there since we have 2. So that's my progress. I did get 422 stitches into that to meet one of the prompts for the month in the daily 30 group. Then I have also stitched on Hibernation Day with by Heartstrings Samplery. This was the second whip I had chosen for the scavenger hunt. And that's what it will hopefully look like when it's done. Really enjoying the stitch as well. I'm stitching this on 36 count. I believe it's Legacy, 36 count Legacy, 1/2. And I know what this looked like beforehand. It was at the end of December. It was from the deer up. I had all that done. I stitched 317 stitches to do the next little row there. So that's all that's been added to this one. I really enjoy this because the little bands are just repetitive, so you don't even, once you stitch a couple of them, you just keep going and don't even have to look at the chart. So that was great. Stitch that up really quick. Then I had one of the prompts was to stitch on a piece that had a charm or button, or you know, something that you little embellishment you add. So I if you remember, started collecting the Heart and Hand Collector's Heart series. I've gotten, I don't know, 8 or so of those. Oh my gosh, and have you seen the 2020 that's coming out? It's so adorable. I cannot wait to get my hands on that, which I guess I'm going to have to wait a year since I'm not purchasing anything. So to meet this prompt, I thought, well, you know, Valentine's Day is coming up, so I wanted to get some Valentine's stitching underway again, like I did last year, and I want to get my Valentine decor out. I took down my big Christmas tree in my living room, January 7th. I took down my huge Christmas tree. That is the earliest in my 46 years that I've ever taken down Christmas decor of any type, especially a Christmas tree. That's the earliest I've ever taken down Christmas before. But it's done. You know how large it was? I got all that room back in our living room. So I remembered all the Valentine decor that I have and the spring decor that I have that I got last year. So I wanted to just go ahead and stitch another Valentine piece. So I started with the 2002 Collector's Heart. I believe the earliest I have is 98 or 99. It didn't have as many stitches, and I needed something for 500 stitches. So I'm using the 2002. It had the little charm that you add here, and it came as a complete kit. So I am stitching on the fabric. I think it's 28 count or 32 count. 32 count summer khaki. So I am stitching it 2/2. Like I said, it came as the kit. It had the fabric, the floss, the charm. Ooh, let me get that out of the way. Well, it's attached, but of course the fabric that came, I was to use this whole piece here, but I try to be extremely efficient and thriftful with my fabric, so I turned it the other way, and I have at least 1.5 inch border all the way around it, and that is plenty for me to finish this the way I need. So I've got all of the border and True Love and about 1/3 of the heart stitched, and let's see, it met my prompt for 500. I actually have 607 stitches in this. I'm just amazed at, because I don't know, it looks like maybe a couple hundred, but man, yeah, 607 stitches in this one. It does have some specialty stitch in there. I don't know if you can see that. It's really not that. It's like a satin stitch, and then you go back just half of it the other direction with a stack of satin stitch. So yeah, this, I knocked that out in just a couple of days. I have about 2 or 3 hours every day that I get to stitch, so I am loving it. Okay, and then, okay, so Cheryl's group also, of course, since it's called Daily 30, and I think that is why she initially started the group, is to stitch 30 minutes a day. So a lot of them use that time to focus on one project, trying to get that one project knocked out. So I chose my oldest whip, and that is what I'm doing. I'm focusing on this oldest whip for my 30 minutes a day. Loving it. Love it, love it, love it. I love that I'm focused, and all the detail and organization that I've been putting into this year, I'm really, really enjoying it. So it's going to take a while to knock this out, because oh my gosh, I have put in 1,250 stitches in this since January 1st, and 30 minutes a day. There's been like 1 or 2 days a week that I haven't. So I've stitched on it 10 or 12 days so far this year. It is Prairie Schooler. I guess I better tell you what chart this is. Prairie Schooler Christmas Village. And like I said, this is, I think, the first one other than the one, that other whip that I no longer have kept in rotation. I think this was the second chart I started when I started back cross stitching in 2018. So this is Christmas Village, and if I have the time, here is the beginning photo from December 31st. And here is the 1,250 stitches. I have pretty much, I'm stitching this on 18 count Aida using 2 strands of floss, so it's really thick stitching with it, but it hasn't given me much trouble. But the 1,250 stitches have all gone into, I think just some of this tree had been started, so the rest of the tree, I think this entire house here, it's not a house, what is this? The schoolhouse, I have all, that's part of the 1,250 stitches, and I think that's it. I'm not positive, but I think so. So yeah, I feel like I've been, you know, where I stitch on it every day, at least 30 minutes and 1,250 stitches, and then you look at it and it's like, oh my goodness, this might take me 2 years to finish it. But that's okay. I want to get this knocked out, and what better way to do it to say 30 minutes a day. I have to do this, and I'm getting awarded tokens to do it, so I'm at least awarding myself to do that. But yeah, like I'm really enjoying focusing on, you know, just keeping a few charts in my rotation. I do have a short attention span as far as like if I work on one for a few days, it's like, okay, I need to change to something else. So it's nice to have, I've probably got 6 or 8 charts that I've only rotated in January. Okay, and then Jenny Bean's Christmas Sampler from Shakespeare's Peddler. This was the 3rd whip that I've used for my scavenger hunts. And like I said, if I think about it, this is the starting photo. This is the chart that it will ultimately look like. Sorry, black and white. But wow, the floss colors are beautiful. I am stitching this on 32 count Vintage Country Mocha. I am stitching it 1/2, and this is my progress. Let's see. I have put 634 stitches in this since January 1st. Basically finished the double border there at the top. Added all of the words. And these letters down here, I've just finished that last night. So I'm loving this. Loving the 1 thread over 2. I think it looks great. Yeah, really enjoying that one. And there's all the floss colors. I have went through, and my goal is to record a video of how I am doing my floss, as far as previously, like all the DMC I had bobbinated, and so was just grabbing the bobbins as I needed them for my projects. Well, kitted it up, like if I needed 10 different DMCs, I pulled all 10 bobbins and put it in the one project. So when I needed another thing of floss for a different project, I was going to try to figure out what project I had already pulled it for. So I have started, when I kit up a project, making floss cards, pulling the DMC goes on floss cards for that project, along with any of the fancy flosses that are needed. So I'm hoping to do a separate video to give you all the details on how I do that. Of course, it's early stages because I haven't finished a project that I have used my floss cards for. So when I get done with that project, what am I going to do with the extra floss that I have left over? Add it to the fancy floss cards, wrap it back on the bobbins for the DMC. I'm not sure yet. So that'll be the next phase. But the first phase I'm really enjoying. I love organizing, and I have been in such an organizing mood since the first of the year, and I'm really loving it. Okay, and then a couple more. Another one that I'm not sure why I initially grabbed this one. I know it was because the monthly challenges in the Facebook group has a higher stitch count, and to try to fit whips into the prompts, I went ahead and pulled this one since it was larger, and it's obviously, you know, going to be a long-term project. I thought, well, to get some of this knocked out, I'm going to have to start using this in those larger prompts. So far, I've used it several times. I have actually put 1,449 stitches into this one, and you can hardly tell. But it is Carriage House Samplings Autumn at Hawk Run Hollow. Before picture, if I have it. And here is my progress. Oh, this has, whoops, I can take that out. I have stitched and stitched on it. Like I said, almost 1,450 stitches. And they have all been in the house. I am building this house brick by brick. Window by window. Each window is 85 stitches. So the monthly challenges were all 500 stitch count challenges. So was able to knock out the windows. Well, not literally. I finished stitching all the windows. The roof, I know the roof was only about maybe, I don't know, 2/3 of the way complete. Added the chimneys there and lots of bricks, because I think I only had maybe the one side and maybe a little bit of that top row there of the bricks. So lots of bricks, and all the windows have been added. And I'm still loving and stitching on this. It's been stitched on 36 count parchment 1/2. Okay. And let's see. So I technically had 3 starts. I forgot about the 2002 collector's heart, but this was, well, my first start, which was my New Year's Day start, technically a restart, is my Heaven and Earth Designs, a real snow job. Beautiful snowy scene. Love, love, love it. So I have this on scroll rods, and I did work on it the first day for a couple of hours, and that's all I worked on it. I've gotten so hung up in wanting to knock out whips. I haven't went back to it, but I'm scheduling in 2 hours, and I think Sundays are going to be the best. It's my most free time that I can sit down, get organized with this, and start knocking it out. So I think Sundays are going to be the best time for me to work on it. I'm just going to call it Snowy Sunday. Here is my progress so far. This is 32 count gridded fabric. So yeah, I've got a couple of blocks knocked out. It is a real learning curve. Oh, I am stitching tent stitch on this. 2 strands of floss over 1 thread on the fabric. So the coverage, I love the coverage. I think it's great. On the 32 count, just doing the tent stitch, you can't see the background fabric even in the darker colors. So happy with that. So hopefully it will cut this down from like a 10-year project to hopefully 5. We'll see. But I've watched a handful of videos. I watched Jessie Marie does stuff a few days ago, went back and looked at some of her videos where she tackles Hades and her process of stitching them. A lot of things to consider, because you know you got to have a lot of extra stuff on the back there, so trying to keep it as neat and organized and as efficient as possible to stitch those. So it's basically being excited about focusing on whips and having to take the time to just get this all set up to get to stitching on it again. So that's part of the problem too. But I am definitely going to start knocking this out. So just gotta sit down and do it because I want to get it done. It's a gorgeous chart, so don't count me on it just yet. Okay, and so that was my first start of the year. My second start of the year is Carolyn. Let me grab the cover sheet just a second. It's in black and white, but the Granny Square Daily Temperature Stitch Along from Carolyn Manning. This is a PDF that you can purchase. So it's gonna be so pretty. But basically you can do it several different ways. You can track the lows, you can track the highs. Some people are making an outside color the high, the middle color is the low. I have found a weather station, just not even a quarter mile located from my home, that posts all of the weather for that specific weather station online. So I just go to it each day and find out what the previous day's high was. And I love that it's so close to the house. So I am just using the high temperature for each day. And I am stitching this on 32 count. Oh, I don't have that. I think it's 32 count dusk. So I'm stitching it 2/2. I'm just using DMC, and I did do a color conversion. These are my colors here. So beautiful colors. I do have 11 days, I believe. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, 11 days. So it's January 1st, 2nd, and 3rd on the top, and then comes back over here for the January 4th. Working over. Yeah, you won't be able to, I mean, unless you know what day it starts on. And so it's just going to be a beautiful piece once it gets finished. You can see where there's several days have repeated already. We've actually had a day, I think it got up to 69 degrees. But what I'm doing is gathering the data for the week and then stitching it on a Saturday, because there's a lot of similar colors from one to the other. So instead of just stitching one completely and then moving on to another one, like this one was actually, you know, within the 4 or 5 degree range 2 days in a row. So I stitched the yellow part and then went over and stitched the yellow part so that worked out really well. So I'm doing it on Saturdays so that I can knock that out a little more efficiently. Okay, so I have not stitched the border that was charted for this, and as of right now I don't plan on it. I thought it might need just something to pull it all together, but as I get it stitched further along, we'll see how it looks. But yeah, I think that's so cool. Okay, so I have got to run and do my afternoon bus route, and I'll be gone an hour and a half, and I'll get everything switched up because I have lots of haul from 2019. I haven't purchased anything so far in 2020. So I'll show you what I had ordered at the end of 2019 that I've received since then, and there's quite a bit. So we'll be back to show you that. All right, I am back. Got all the kitties delivered. Hope I don't look too frazzled. No, they weren't that bad today at all. So, and my husband got my bus fixed, so everything should be good in the morning. Let's hope so. Okay, so went through all my whips and what I've been working on. So now I want to show you some haul. I did want to, I meant to go through and at the end of January, I'll go through the questions I had on my last couple of floss tubes, the whip update, or you know, the whip parade, and there are some questions. I have not taken the time to reply to those, but I thought I would just answer them on my Flosstubes, which I think would be beneficial for everyone. Easier for me to not have to type out the answers. So I will do that next Flosstube. And I had someone message me, a viewer, and let me know that my comments were turned off on my videos. So through some research, I have found out, if you're aware of the COPPA thing with YouTube, you have to mark your videos if they're child-friendly or not. Well, I've marked them as child-friendly. I'm assuming they're child-friendly. Showing some cross-stitch and no cussing or anything bad. So, but if you mark it as child-friendly, it turns off your comments. Because the video might be child-friendly, but there might be comments that are not child-friendly, so it turns off your comments on your videos if they're marked child-friendly. So I had to go through and mark my videos that they're not child-friendly, which is kind of frustrating. But anyway, I just did fix that the last couple of days. I don't know how long it had been like that, so if you weren't able to comment on my previous videos, I apologize, but it should be fixed for this one. Okay, let's see. I did get some Stitchy Kindness, Nevada Stitcher. We became friends at StitchCon, and I sent her a little Christmas card wishing her Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And she in turn sent me a card back with some beautiful floss, some Threadworks, a red and a green. Beautiful Christmas colors. So I have to find something special for those. Thank you so much, Barbara. She included a little note, and it just shows what a small world it actually is. So thank you so much, Barbara. That was a really cool story. And that brings me to my Christmas cards that I received. Just a little tip, and last year my Christmas cards, I tossed them when I was done. But after watching some Flosstubes last year, I learned that cutting these up, since they are thicker, you know, cardstock, you can cut them up. And you can use the whole thing, just punch it here if you wanted to use the whole thing as a floss card, or you could cut it into strips. You're still getting, you know, some colors or different figures in there, but use them as floss cards or thread drops, whichever one, small ones or a big one for one project. So I am definitely doing that this year. I've already done a couple, but I wanted to share that little tip with you because I think that's so cool. It's, instead of going out and buying packs of cardstock paper, reuse these. You get some little bit of splashes of color in the floss cards, and so I think that's cool. On to haul. I had told you I had gotten a gift certificate to 123 Stitch, and then I had also, before that, purchased Rosewood Manor, Autumn Quakers, and Winter Quakers. So with my 123 gift certificate, I purchased the Valdani flosses for each of those charts. So cool. I've never stitched with Valdani flosses, but wow, are they not gorgeous. Beautiful colors. So super excited about that. Now I have to figure out fabric to stitch those on. I want it to be something really cool. Somebody is stitching this. I think Dina with half stitch cross stitch. I just watched her Flosstube last night, and I believe she is the one that started the Winter Quakers, and she is doing it on a light blue fabric. Gorgeous. Really makes those colors pop, especially since some of it is a lighter colored thread, so you really don't want to use a white fabric. So I thought that was a really cool idea. Okay, then I had mentioned Threads and Twine had a big sale. I think it ended January 7th last week. I did 3 separate orders because I kept going back and thinking, I want to see if she has this series or if she has this floss or whatever, and she did. So I got a few reds. I don't know which charts I was looking at, needed some reds. So this is not a red, but I got blue corn, classic Colorworks chili pepper, crab cakes. I know Priscilla and Chelsea use this a lot. Ladybug. So I wanted to get them and use them and see how they looked. Louisiana hot sauce. I love this one. I wish I had seen this. Although it's really similar to Becca Scarlet. Maybe it might have some little bit more darker modeling throughout. And Lancaster red. And I purchased this, but then didn't realize the Collector's Heart series, that kit that I started actually has Lancaster red in it. So, and it's a beautiful red, so I've got an extra one now. I also purchased a pack of John James needles. They're the golden petites, S28. I love using the petites. This is one of them that I think this was on the last time I got in there and ordered some stuff, because for Christmas ornaments, I want to get some series stitched up for my trees, not just onesies twosies. So I had already purchased, I've had them for, I say a while, but you know, I've only been purchasing for about a year, the Hands On Design series, the white Christmas series. I had 3 of them, so I went ahead and got the other 6. So I got that whole set now. I also got Christmas at Winterberry Cabin. Seems like I got this chart. Oh, I can't remember if I already got this one or not. Oh, I wanted to get all the chalk ornaments. So she had this one, have a cool Yule. And then I got part 2 and part 1. She was out of part 3. So I at least got the part 1 and the part 2 of the chalk series. I have already bought the fabric for these. So now I have the charts to go with them. I also purchased a piece of 36 count 18th century Blackbird, and I think I had seen Amy with Amy Loves Toads. She had purchased a piece of this as well, but it's not as dark. That's pretty true right there. So it's not black, but it's a beautiful, like a dark steel gray. That'll be pretty. I also got Brenda Gervais Souvenirs of the Heart Home for Christmas. I love the little peppermints on there. And I guess because I'm just a glutton for punishment, I got Hawk Run Hollows, the Farms of Hawk Run Hollow. I was debating between this and Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow, and I decided to go with the Farms because I'm trying to incorporate more of that into my home, and I could keep this up all year as opposed to putting that much effort into this size of a chart just for Christmas. Although I could probably just leave that Christmas one up as well all year, but I really like this one, so yeah, it's gonna be a few years down the road. I guess I don't know if I accidentally hit this add to cart or what. I don't remember ordering this, but it's here nonetheless. I did order it. It's not that she mistakenly got it in there. It's on my order form. So I guess as I was browsing, I hit that Be Merry. I've seen some other ones stitched like be thankful maybe for Thanksgiving. Seems like there was another one as well. This is super cute. But like I said, I was on there several times, so who knows. And then, oh, Prairie Schooler, the Santa series, all of their Santas. I have started collecting those. So she had lots of those in stock, so I was able to get several of those. I won't go through every year, but I got several on the single cards. And then Prairie Schooler did the Santas Revisited, where there's like 3 in each pack. Some of them are duplicates. I already have either the single, well, I already have the singles. But if there was at least 2 on here that I didn't have, I went ahead and got this so that I have them. So I haven't went through and detailed which years after I got these in. I haven't just figured out which years exactly that I'm missing. But while I was on there looking at those, they have the limited edition Santas. Here Comes Santa Claus. That is so cute. And Dear Santa for 2006. By the Chimney, the 2008. Santa's House, 2010. Love those poinsettias and the deer. And Must Be Santa. Love the little whimsy of the house. So cute. And this is the 2009. Got all of those. And also got Christmas Eve. Love that. So yeah, I scored a lot with her sale, so I was super excited. And hopefully that will hold me over for the year with purchasing. So like I said, I haven't purchased anything, you know, we're what, 15 days in. It is, what day is it? I don't think I said that at the start of my video. It is Thursday, January 16th. So 16 days in, I haven't purchased anything yet. And I'm going through and inventorying my charts, so that's, you know, keeping me excited of seeing everything that I actually do have. So with that, I want to do a giveaway. With spring just around the corner, it actually has felt like spring around here the last few weeks. It was almost 70 on Christmas Day. I think I mentioned that, but it's supposed to turn cold this weekend, back into the 30s. So with that, I figured I could give away some spring charts. I have some Halloween and Christmas stuff, but I figured I would save that until we're more in the mood to stitch those. I have Country Cottage Needleworks March and the Prairie Schooler Signs of Spring. I stitched the rabbit and the chick. Just not feeling these, so I thought might as well just hand them off to someone that may want to stitch these. So if you do, comment below, because I'm still in hibernation mode, but I know there's a lot of other people that are just totally over it already, even though we're not even a month into winter. Started December 21st and it's not even a month into winter. So I am taking advantage of it and am loving winter right now. So are you ready for spring, or are you still in hibernation mode? Let me know in the comments and I'll do a random comment picker. You don't need to mention anything specific. I don't know, I'll do 2 winners, because of course I'll add a couple little extras with each one. So if you want both of them, let me know, or one or the other, let me know specifically, or else I'll just put you in for both of them. So yeah, comment below, are you still in hibernation mode or are you just over it and ready for spring? Okay, so like I said, hopefully in January, first couple days of February, I'll touch back with you and give you an update on my January stitching. I am thoroughly enjoying my stitching time. I hope you are as well. So until next time, friends, happy stitching.